Alright guys, back with NATCON. We're going to go to game number 2. Now, having defeated a Dark Elf player fairly convincingly in game 1, they gave me another guy that had had a very convincing win in his game 1. And it turned out to be none other than the player known as Reed Pittams, who is regarded as the best Warhammer player in the country that I live in, and he's ranked number 1 for the New Zealand players. He's been in many tournaments. This is a very experienced player, and he's got Dark Elves. This is not a Dark Elf army that has any soft Witch Elves or anything like that. All of his choices are useful. This is a well-rounded Dark Elf player, Dark Elf army that a good player will be able to make very good use out of. And I'm going to go straight to the first photo here, where you can see that I'm badly out-deployed. On the far right of the photo, you cannot see there's a wood to the right of where my Tomb Guard are. And I've deployed, I think it's 1 unit of archers way over the side there. The reason I deployed the archers far over in the wood is because I wanted to prevent his shades from going there as well. But then after I started deploying stuff in the middle, he kind of deployed everything on the right-hand side. I mean, he deployed his Dark Riders far on the flank first, and that kind of tricked me into putting some guys over the right. And then he just deployed everything on the flank. And I'm really in a bad position because my infantry are going to take ages to get over to where his massive guys are. I've only got my one Princess unsupported hammer unit there with one Scorpion to defend him. I've got the archers on the hill, but his Hydra's going to stomp through the forest directly towards my hill. So, yeah, totally out-deployed. So, feeling a bit apprehensive about how this game is going to go. Next picture, you can see sort of bit of detail on his line over here, where he's got his Dark Riders just heading over to where my archers are. By the way, my second unit of chariots far on the left-hand flank, on this left-hand side of the photo. You can't see it in the photo, but totally stupid. The chariots can't do anything there, so I'm pretty much screwed because I had to change my plan halfway through my deployment, and yeah, I just felt really silly about this. You can see over on his side, he's got Blackguard, Hydra, Cold Knights, 2 units of Harpies, Shades in the Wood. Spearman behind the Blackguard. He's got 2 sorceresses. He's got a BSB on foot with the Blackguard. He's got a general on foot. So yeah, looking pretty nasty all round. This photo you can sort of see that he's getting the first turn and moving his guys up. I think it is. Oh no, he's just placing the shades in the wood. Let's go to the next photo straight away. You can see the shades in the wood here next to Hydra. So the shades can't be shot at, and they just move out to the side of the wood and shoot at any of my infantry moving across to deal with the flank. So that's how that turned out. Let's go to the next photo. Just going to cut through this fairly quickly. I think he did win first turn. I can't remember what they did, but it looks like the first photo is taken of his first turn moving here. Hydra's just stomping through the wood. It's going to get through to my lines in record time. Everybody else is just moving up fairly normally. Harpy's moving out to threaten my Casket of Souls. Could potentially charge me, so I'm going to have to deal with him. I've got a Tomb Swarm about to pop up next to the archers over there, but he's got his chariot facing the Tomb Swarm to get rid of them should I threaten the archers in that way, and he's got his Shades in the Wood here, so just rolling down my flank. Next photo, yeah, you can see these little coins next to my chariots, which represent the fact that I've taken wounds on them from doom bolts and arrows and so forth. Yeah, I mean, just again with the last photo, he's threatening me over in the left-hand flank pretty badly. There's not too much I can do to move across the side, so we'll see how it turns out. Next picture, you've got my next turn, the Tomb Guard moving around the side. On the left-hand side, the chariots are pulling back just to give me enough time to get into a good position. I've got the archers spraying fire onto the Hydra and so forth, trying to inflict some damage. Tomb Scorpions pulling back a bit. And Carrion, I think I just moved them, because I had them way out of the way, I've just moved them in front of the Tomb Guard and the skeleton unit so I can magic move them into something else. Next picture, the magic move actually worked, and the Carrion charged the Harpies away, so they ended up in front of the chariot, and his Shades are right there as well. So interesting picture. Just trying to throw a little bit of spanner in the works here and just get rid of that threat of the Harpies there. Next picture, oh man, oh goodness me, the Hydra just charges straight up the hill, straight into the archers. I had a couple of cracks at it with the Scullipult, but didn't manage to hurt it enough. He's actually taken a number of wounds on the Hydra. In fact, I did actually hurt it with a Scullipult. I managed to inflict enough wounds to bring it down to 1 wound left, but couldn't quite get the job done. So I might have actually had a much better chance in this game had I destroyed the Hydra, but you know, I can't rely on luck to do that. And now with the Hydra in combat with the archers, things are going to get pretty grim. Blackguard are moving forward, so are the Cold Knights behind them. Blackguard are going to be hard to deal with because they've got the banner which makes them strike first, I think. Or he's got the banner and murder, I can't really remember. Either way, it's going to be tough winning combat with those guys. They are stubborn, so charging with the Prince's unit of chariots is going to have to wipe them all out, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Next picture, the Prince's unit just hanging back, waiting for the last moment before charging. I really want to get as much magic and shooting done before I get in there. My opponent just carefully maneuvering his troops so he can get the most out of his possession here. Got both sorceresses in that spearman unit that he's touching right now with his hand. Yeah, just going to flip through these photos very quickly. It's a pretty brutal game. Next picture, what's happened here is my chariots are on the flank moves. Oh, man, so angry that my chariots were deployed far over the side. It was a totally stupid thing to do in response to Dark Riders. He's wiped out my carrion over there. He's got his harpies in position. He's barely lost any guys. Archers moving out of the wood. Archers over the wood on the right-hand side, really doing nothing the whole game. The archers on the hill in combat with a Hydra just getting slaughtered. The Scorpions charged in desperation to take out the last wound on the Hydra because he's only got one left, but the Scorpion didn't get the job done, fluffed his attacks, and couldn't take that one wound off him. I've slammed into the Blackguard with the Prince's unit of chariots, so let's find out how that worked. Let's go to the next photo so you can see in a bit of detail here that the Scorpions charged the Dreadlord. That's actually a Dreadlord in the Blackguard unit on the corner, and the Prince's units are slammed in, so let's go to the next photo again. Sorry, I'm rushing through these photos very quickly, but it's a pretty brutal game, like I said. What happens here is that the Scorpion moves in, the impact hits take a massive toll on the Blackguard, just do tons of damage on them, and he survives with one champion, one BSB, and the Dreadlord. So two characters and a champion ready to strike back at me. And what happens is that, going to the next photo here, his Dreadlord attacks the Prince, kills the Prince. The Dreadlord wipes out the Prince straight away, fails his leadership test for the curse, so he loses his Dreadlord, and then his BSB and champion strike back and do plenty of wounds on me. Scorpion's not destroyed. Scorpion's just out of the combat now because he's got nobody in base-to-base contact with him, and he passes a stubborn roll for the break test. And I'm in a very bad way because I haven't beaten him on the first round of combat, and now he's ready to charge me with everything else that he's got. But at least I took out his general. I get some victory points for that, and in this tournament you get a single point towards your generalship score if you take out the opponent's general. So at least, even though I'm getting murdered in this game, at least I've got a little bit to show for it. Next photo, oh man, the Hydra's wiped out this unstoppable Hydra with one wound left has wiped out the Scorpion, wiped out all of the archers, now into the combat with the Skullpult crew. Sorry, he's actually taken out the Casket of Souls as well on the way into the Skullpult crew, so things are just going down the gurgler for me. He's charged his Dark Riders into my chariots, he's got the Cold One Knights into the Scorpion on the left-hand side flank. Tomb Guard's in this skeleton unit in the middle there, and the Tomb Guard, Tomb Guard are on the far side getting murdered by bowfire from the Shades and all the repeaters in the background. Things are going very badly, as you can see from this photo. Let's go to the next photo. You can see that the Dark Rider is just charging with this. There's no way I can win this combat. He's still got his BSB, still got his champion in there, just crushing everything. I'm striking last in this situation. And yeah, what can you do? Just very nicely painted Cold One Knights. But I should point out that this particular player didn't actually paint his own army. He's actually borrowed somebody else's army for the tournament. So there you go, best Warhammer player in New Zealand using other people's armies. A little bit dodgy that he did this, you know, because he got points for how well painted his army was and so forth, and that contributed to how well he placed in the tournament. But somebody else actually owns this army and painted it. So yeah, a little bit dodgy about that. But I mean, you can't fail to give him credit for his generalship. He's a very good player, and he's very good at what he does. Go to the next photo. Things are pretty much getting mopped up now. The Hydra's overrun through everything. I've lost all the chariots and Scorpion on the flank. All Scorpions dead. The Hierophant is in the unit with the Tomb Guard about to die. The King is in the unit of Skeleton Warriors here, and the chariots are on the far side just trying to survive. Next photo is just basically just moving everybody across, capturing table quarters. I'm just going to skip through these. Yeah, the Tomb Guard has been wiped out. The Hierophant in the unit's been wiped out, so I'm taking tests for the Hierophant destruction now. Next photo is pretty much the last photo of the battle report. Totally surrounded my units here. The King had to leave his unit by flying away behind the forest, and I'm just trying to salvage table quarters and battle points wherever I can. So managed to lose this by a whopping margin, as you can see. My opponent really hasn't taken any losses, apart from most of his Blackguard, but he still gets half points for his Blackguard because it didn't kill the champion. How sickening is that? And there we go, a total face planting for the second game of the tournament, but You know, it's up against pretty much the guy who's the favourite to win the tournament overall, so I don't feel too bad about that. And I learned a lot about this game. I learned a lot about how to deploy my units, so feeling very confident going into future games with this in mind, staying very confident. And if I rematch this guy, I'm sure I'll do a much better job against him. I'm a much better player as a result, so I actually have to feel very positive about what happened. And yeah, congratulations to Reed Pittams for doing this. Thanks, guys, and a third game coming up soon.